Greetings, and welcome to another segment of Michelle Speaks. If you hide it, you can't heal it. I'm Michelle Portier, the host of the hour, and as you all know, we always look to highlight individuals in the community that are turning their adversities into victories with the goal of providing help, producing hope, and promoting healing. So here we are again with another powerhouse who has turned her adversity into victory and is in turn impacting her surrounding community. And so, as most of you know, I love to highlight veterans, and I love to highlight those that people believe um, are not able to overcome their circumstances. And so today is just the same. And so without further ado, I want to introduce to you all a very special friend, colleague, sister in Christ, and powerhouse, Miss Whiteside-Lemon, who truly knows what it means to walk through fire. So thank you so much, Crystal, for agreeing to come on and share with us how you have triumphed over your adversity and how you're going to share how others can do the same. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm just excited and elated. So, this is interesting. This will be interesting. I'm looking forward to helping others and also shedding some new light.
Right. We're going to get right into it. Um, I know you. I had the pleasure and the honor to have known Crystal for, I would say, for at least 10 years, and I see how she's grown and how she's impacted those that are in her sphere of influence. And she's such an inspiration to me. But it's not about what I know. We all are going to learn about her and why she is such a powerhouse and a person to be reckoned with. And so, Crystal, for our listening audience, please share with them who is Crystal Whiteside-Lemon, personally, professionally, spiritually.
Okay. Well, Crystal Whiteside is your best friend, someone you can come to, be a confidant, um, a mother, a wife. I have one child and I adore her. She's an adult. Um, you know, Professionally, I would say I'm that hardworking woman that wants to get it right every time, but also be the person that wants to demonstrate the knowledge, not in a sass way, but demonstrate the knowledge so you'll be able to refer back to me later. Spiritually, a woman of God that's still learning. God is still working with me. So no one is out there perfect. So I'm not claiming the perfect side, but I am claiming that I'm in the knowledge of learning, wanting and thirsting for more. So
Right.
that's just the Whiteside-Lemon.
So there you have a little bit about Crystal, and you're going to get to learn a lot more today. But something that you said was very profound. You said you haven't arrived, but you're still learning. So
Yes.
we are right now to be learning of his second coming, back to his home. So I want to again thank you so much, Crystal, for coming on and to share with us your insight. And so prior to having you on, we had some extensive conversations about life in general. Some of the challenges that we've encountered, some similar, some not, and how you navigated through those challenges. And that's how you came up with the title "Walking Through the Fire." And
Yeah.
so, for those that may not know what that means, my first question is, how have you been impacted by the experiences that you have encountered, prior to and during your service? And thank you for your service. Um, and how did you come up with that topic, that title, "Walking Through Fire"?
I would say it like this. If anyone that's military ever been called or tempted to be shipped off to Diego Garcia, that's walking through a fire. And what I mean that I took away the good part of walking through that fire because it's either going to make or break you. So
Mhm.
the fire pit itself is flaming in front of you, and either you're going to walk around it if you dare to, or you're going to walk through it. And I would have to say some days I had no choice but to walk through it. So that's how I look at my life. That's how I look at the spiritual walk. Some things hurt so bad that you just say, I don't know. Well,
Mhm.
in the military, we run to the fire. We don't run away from the fire. So I've taken that same concept into life. So in my marriage, when there's turbulence, you tend to think of, okay, what am I going to do? You can't always go run and hide in the closet. You got to face it sometimes. So when you face it, grab your partner's hand and face it together. There's times where you're going to cry. There's times you're going to fight. You're going to say, you know what, I got a fork. And my husband said, I got a knife. And we just started laughing. So then the fight was over. So God has put water on the fire because we remember each other's personalities.
Right.
So then when
I want to put this caveat out. There is a delay, so if you hear any kind of interference, that is what it is. I apologize ahead of time for those tuning in. But Crystal, share with me, how have you been impacted by some of the adversity that you've gone through? And I know we talked about a few, but even prior to the military.
Mm-hmm. The adversities that I felt, we'll just go straight into the military. Mine was racism. I had never suffered that before. I'm from California, so I'd never been involved with it. I heard about it, but until you face it head on, or it's presented to you that morning, that evening, that afternoon, you are in total shock. Because in my house, there was no thing about color. It was a person's name that didn't do well with you or didn't do something for you. It's not the person of color. So my first duty station, my excellent first class transferred and retired, and the new person came in, and I would always call him a person. It was unreal. They had never transitioned in from being with all males to males and women in the military. And so this is the early 80s, and I'm like, wow. But let me tell you something. One big adversity I remember distinctly is him bringing in a proclamation showing that his great-great-grandfather owned slaves.
Oh,
so if that's not a shock to your core.
So how did you respond?
In the same silence I have right now. Yes. I mean, say it again.
What were some of the things that you encountered? That racism was something that you encountered during the 80s that was a very different Navy than it is now. So on a daily basis, what are some of the things that you
encountered? Calling me out of my name. I was never Crystal Whiteside. At that time, I wasn't married, so I wasn't Crystal Whiteside. I was, hey, you B, hey, you black, certain things. And I had to just think about it. And the one response I remember saying is that's not the name on my contract in the Navy.
Right.
And I looked around and I kept saying, but I'm the only person here that you're speaking to.
Right.
And so I wrote on a sheet of paper because I was so nervous that my voice was cracking. And I said, if there's something you need me to do, my name is Crystal.
And you gave them that paper?
And I gave him the paper and he lost it. So that's how I realized I won. And so when you realize that you can win, it's not you voicing your opinion so loud. It's just saying it politely. I still wanted to be pleasing with God because at that time I was learning my way.
Right.
So it's your first duty station. You want to do great things. You want to do big things. You want to get out there and learn and do your job. And then you have this person that want to do something totally different that's off the map.
Right.
So that was the adversity. So I learned that I'm going to take it, but I'm going to take it with grace with God. Love him from afar.
And so instead of responding angrily and loudly, what you did was you just responded meekly, and you were able to maintain control. And you knew that you had won when he lost control. That's how you dealt with it. Gotcha. That's good. That's good stuff. So I'm sure that had to be wearing day in, day out, you're encountering this. So how did that impact how you navigated through your military career in the Navy, trying to advance?
A year. Yes, that lasted a full year until the ratings came out where I made E3. And then I was transferring to a new duty station to Japan. So I was just elated. I made E3. It's time to go. and he stumps me again. The results come out. I made it. Whatever the cutoff was, I got it. That's all you had to do, is just get it.
Right.
He closed a new duty station to prepare them for what he called, I was a dirtball. So it was just never ending. But God is good. So when I travel to Japan and I get there, and the Master Chief says, "You got a disturbing phone call." I said, "Yes, I was there." It was our morning meeting, and he took my record and he says, "For 2 weeks, I'm going to sit this record in my inbox, and I'm going to train you. I'll know whether or not that statement was true." He never mentioned the statement.
Okay.
In 2 weeks, I was on what he called his football field, and I learned my job as if I was his daughter. That's just how well he trained me.
Okay.
So he didn't look at color. He was such a blessing. You get a blessing. You knew that you went through a fire, and God put out the fire. All you have to do is follow the path.
So he took you under his wings, basically.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good deal. So that was one example of some adversities that you encountered, and one example of how, even in the midst of that, you still had an angel here on earth, per se, that helped you to navigate through that fire. So how has it impacted overall how you show up in life now today, even what happened before, as a mother, as a wife, and as a friend?
It showed me to show up with strength, and to realize I can believe the voice that you hear with strength, knowing that if I don't know something, I can go and find a resource. If I don't know something as a mom, I can take my baby by the hand and say, we're going to figure this out together. As a wife, I hold my husband's hand, and I can either push him out there in the world to strengthen him up, or he can do the same to me. But I know that I have a voice. I didn't have one before. For some reason, I thought my voice box was turned off. I didn't need it. So I was like, well, I'll have a man that'll guide me. God said, no, you're going to show up and be who I have you to be. That's what I got out of all that negativity and some positive adversities. So today in life, I show up. I'm ready to go. And if I don't know, I tell you. And you can't hold that over my head because I don't know.
Okay. So you said you show up with strength.
Yes.
But I wanted to key in on something you said. You said you realized you had a voice. When, if you can recall, did you lose your voice? And then what was it that helped you to regain your voice?
Okay. So this one is another diversity. It's when I was married the first time. And like I said, I thought I got married, I was going to follow the leader. My husband was my guide. And what I realized is that husband had a daughter. Putting your hands on people. I say people because that person that I was then was quiet. Okay. That's why I said my voice was strong. And so when that came, I realized I had a voice. I said something. You know how you hear a baby?
Hey guys, I believe we're encountering some.
You can't put your hands on me. You can't talk to me any kind of way. That's when Crystal showed up. And so, have a name for her, but she showed up. And so when she showed up, I realized that she was all inside of me. And so I take that through the marriage. I take that through my business life with my daughter. I keep showing up. So make sure she shows up. Because if you don't use your voice and your strength, your education, just happen. I don't want the Mack truck to keep going.
Right.
I want to be.
And I'm sorry, we're having some challenges with the signal, I believe, because of the storm in this area. Are you there, Crystal? Hello? I believe we lost her. I am so sorry. Crystal, are you with us still? I'm so sorry for those of you that are tuning in. The signal has been kind of spotty. I believe it's due to the weather. I'm going to sign off and we're going to try this again. And if we aren't able to get it to come back in, then we will reschedule for another Thursday. And I do apologize for those that are tuning in. But I really, Crystal, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Okay, you're back with us?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. We had some challenges with the internet connectivity. So I don't know when you've straightened it out, but can you share with us what you were stating, I guess, when you went out was that how you regained your voice after you realized that you had lost it.
Okay. What I was speaking up about was a past marriage.
Okay.
And I had that my voice came about me. I was just like a baby talking for the first time, and you don't hear the baby is not realizing that's the noise that they're making is their voice. So again, God showed me, yes, you're here, you're in the present. So I immediately said, you can't talk to me like that. You can't treat me this way. You can't put your hands on me. I got a voice. I got a reason for being here. And if we can't work it out, then we need to separate. But the main thing about that whole situation is that I thought I was a follower and not a leader. And see, you have to be, there's times where you're going to lead and there's times where you follow. But first you need to know who and what you're following. See, that was the whole mixed up. See, I thought that was the man that I was supposed to follow, so I wouldn't have to lead. But what I found out, I ended up being his security. So I was the leader.
So what was that transition like once you realized that was a very powerful statement that you made? You know, sometimes you're going to be a follower, sometimes you're going to be a leader. Follower, you know who and what you're following. And so when did you know that what you were following was not or what you were supposed to be following? And then how did you get transition out into becoming the leader and finding your voice?
When I found out that I wasn't, when I was following the wrong person,
right?
When he put his hands on me,
okay,
when the statements came. So then I said, okay, but God was sitting there talking to me. That first hit, God was like, wake up. That do mean it just like a football player is on the field and it has a concussion and someone just go, wake up.
Right.
That's what it felt like. And when I woke up, there was God talking to me louder than ever before. I knew his voice, but somewhere I had put him in the background in my brain. Like, I got a husband now, I'm good. That's not what he wanted to hear.
Right.
No. So that was a wake up moment. And how I transgressed out of that is knowing that I am my own leader. I am my own voice, and I choose the path with God's help. Well, so there was a while before there was somebody else to say, I'm going to follow him. I'm going to do this. There's a lot involved. You have to go back to realizing, do you love yourself enough to follow someone else? That's a lot of power you're giving somebody.
Exactly.
Okay. So there's, the transition can be easy, but you have to recognize who you are, but love yourself while you're going through.
Recognize who you are. I think so. And I believe a lot of us do that. We can desire things, we can pray and ask for things. Once we receive those things, we forget about the Creator who enabled us to get it. And so once you realize that, you just have to correct yourself. So I think that was a powerful statement that you made. I just wanted to make sure to highlight that. Um, and so for those that are tuning in and listening in, so in navigating your way through that, because everything that we encounter, it either teaches us or we have to continue to learn the lesson if we don't learn the lesson. And so how has it impacted your relationships um, with other women, and how has it impacted your relationships, even though the relationship with your husband now? Because I know we had a conversation about when you were coming out of that and you met your now husband, there were some challenges that you had. So kind of share with us a little bit about that.
He made a powerhouse statement to me that when you're going through abuse in a relationship, nobody could have prepared me for what he had to say. You know, we spent 3 weeks recognizing who we were. What are those tid points? What were those points that will send you into a tizzy? What if I do this? What if I do that? So we kept bouncing the ball back and forth in each other's court, and learning him and him learning me. The one thing when he says, "Okay, we're it. Okay, this is gonna be us. Are you in?" And I see I'm all in. He says, "Okay." He says, "Then take that bag and let's go to the garbage disposal." All of the stuff that we had that was ugly, all the stuff that ticked you off, where you want to just fall out and cry or stand in the street and wanted the truck to hit you, we took it to we took it to a blender. So we have everything written down. And in the Navy, in communications, you blend stuff with water. So I had a cup of water, I had my blender, put the papers in there, his and mine, and poured a cup of water in there and put it on mulch. And after we put it on mulch, we flushed it in the toilet. So in a sense, he says, okay, the baggage that you thought you were carrying into this relationship is out to sea with mine. Well, so we're coming with a clean slate. And then he hugged me and he says, "I got you. I got you." And then I guess about a week or two later, he proposed. And then when he proposed, he says, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving you, and you're not leaving me. There is no divorce." And so now we're at 28 years later, and I think about that, and I could just bawl the same way I bawled when he told me. To have someone to stand up and be accountable, you know, I got you. And there's so many areas in my life, in our marriage, where I call and he might be really, really quiet. And he says, "I got you." He don't even say bye. "I got you." And he hang the phone up. And either when I come in or weeks later, he might say, "I got you." And when he got me, there it is. Whatever I was lacking or missing or wanting, he got me. And so I just champion God that I'm a good, obedient wife, that I can come to him without going to all these different little
Right. Crystal, are you still with us?
Give me. I can hear you. Okay. So where I stopped at, it's not what my husband can give me, because he gives me so much, but it's not a materialistic thing. Sometimes the peace of mind is much better than $1 in your hand. And so I taken all those different transitions and just love on them and thanking God along the way.
Well, that's key. So you talked about how you love and then how you now that you've your voice and you guys are a solid foundation for you, how have you incorporated everything you've endured? How are you now helping others?
Oh, giving back. There's and the reason why I give so much now is because of how my business started. I was a brand new notary, and I would look at these women's in 3-piece suits, stiletto heels, shiny stockings, nice car, And I realized it was perpetrating because they couldn't give back. They couldn't sow into me with just knowledge, just a key to the door. So I don't wear stilettos. Yes, I did wear three-piece suits then, and now I am casually business dress. Okay, I'm ready for today in my world, and so I still can accomplish the same things they were doing, but I'm real. I'm real enough to give back to others that need a door open. Okay, so the way I do that is that I want to train you. I give you something away for free, and that's the knowledge that someone never gave me. And when in doing so, I give you my card and I let you know that I can be a resource for you. Okay. So as I'm a resource, there's boundaries. Some parts of the information is free. Some parts of information is actual training class. But I'm also teaching you to invest in yourself, and I'm willing to learn with you, and I'm willing to teach you, but not never to just close the door on you.
Right.
That's what I want to give back, and that's what I continue to do on a daily basis.
And I can definitely attest to that. From the first day that I've met you, you've been nothing but resourceful, wanting to partner and collaborate and share your knowledge and because when I met that business was working then, we both did the same thing, but you didn't, neither you nor I allowed that. It's not a competitive competition. It's more so us coming together to help others, one another. But what I wanted to ask this, you said a good statement. Let me first caveat that no, I wear stilettos, though not right now because I'm from an injury. I don't have the heart of those that Crystal was referring to. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a giver. I love to empower and help others. I do love to look good doing it. So I'm gonna wear my stilettos. So you said that when you were trying to acquire knowledge, to learn more about your life, instead of people embracing you and helping you, they were ignoring you, they weren't being helpful. How did that impact your mindset and your thought process as far as connecting with business, other women or other individuals that you thought should have helped you but didn't help you? So how did you navigate that particular fire? How did you not become cynical, when it comes to building business?
It was going to the community. My head in every avenue there was to learn. And so the biggest part of that became the United Way. I used to prepare taxes when I was in the military, and I wondered if that service was still available. And it was, and it was a great time. So I met up with not the founder, but one of the coordinators at the time. And then I met a notary that was in the class, and I was fussing because I'm knowledge. I want to get it the first time. I'm the one that sits so close to the teacher, like, okay, back up. And then the people in the back was disturbing me. And I was like, okay, although this class is free to take, this is still my time. Are you seasoned professionals? And they said, yes. Shh, I want to get it. Okay, because I was asking for something. I was asking to be in the community so I can find out what the heartbeat is in Jacksonville. What was the need? And so that's what led me to a door of how to search and research. And so every time I research, then somebody says, yes, if I only had a notary. I say, oh, really? You need a notary? I can't do it right now, but here's my card. Please call me after. And they will call me after. And then that started something. Then that means I need to read, because they were coming up with ideas and different things that they wanted to notarize I hadn't a clue about, but I knew not to give advice. So I joined the National Notary Association before, and then I knew that was a hotline. My one of my best colleagues is my mentor. So I would call her, and she was like, yes, and this is what you watch out for. And then she says, get into that law, get into those statutes of Florida, and let's look at some things that no one else does. And from that point on, I've been contagious with knowledge.
So I know we're talking about business right now, but you can apply the principles that you're sharing to our everyday life.
Yes.
Because I personally believe that you cannot separate the personal from the professional, and many business relationships are founded upon friendships or personal relationships that have been established. So, to that end, how can you walk somebody through if you're having a challenge in your personal life, taking the principles that you've shared with the business life, and you're in the midst of the what would you share with them about how they can navigate that? Say they're having a challenge in their interpersonal relationship, or with their significant other or sibling. What would you say to them if they were in the midst of a fire and didn't know how to
Oh
walk through
my goodness. And that is so profound to give someone advice. Each individual is different.
it?
So the
Hmm.
first thing I would tell you, know your own strengths and weaknesses. If
Hmm.
you know that if you say something in that relationship or is in that time, it's going to escalate it, then you're downplaying yourself. You don't have to, don't be the hero. It's getting out of there. Once you get out of that place or wherever that closet may be, not in the home, not in where this issue happened, be brave tomorrow. I'll just go to my room. No, at this time, we want to be able to tell the story and write the book later. Wear the t-shirts that I survived. Okay. So whatever it takes for you to calm down, do it. Whatever you do with God, do it. Some say meditate, some say scream out, cry, whatever it takes to do it, to get God knowing what's going on. And then seek help. Sometimes seeking help can be that good friend that keeps their mouth shut and give you great advice. Mine was my mother. Okay. Mine was my mother's baby sister. Mine was the dog, Mr. Toto. I mean, I talked to him because I've always known that I could talk to a dog, and who he's gonna tell? Nobody. We didn't have another dog in the house. you know,
Right.
so you use the resources around you and and just realize it's so calming to have that cat, the pet, the bird, the tree house, whatever, to get away from that situation. Do it and rest assured that God will help you. Listen, tune in to him. If you don't know him, take him as your savior.
Hmm.
It
So,
means a
so
lot.
Chris,
You're not alone. You're not
well,
alone.
that's
I might be in this room by myself. So you see, no, say, Jesus, I need you. So for those that know God, for those that don't know God, let's get to know him. You walk away. He talked to me during the personal time, the business times, and the times when I wanted to give up. This hasn't all been glory. So when you have those moments when you want to give up, you say, hey, Jesus, go ahead and have that conversation. Now I'll be at McDonald's getting some coffee. I'm gonna be sitting at this table. I need you to show up. And then I need you to show out when I stop crying, okay? Because I'm listening.
I just
Right
want to
here
share with you
is a
that Miss Trinette Smith is saying that you are blessing her soul right now. So I wanted to make sure that I shared that with you.
Thank you, Miss Trinette. I'll see you tonight.
Right, right. So, what would you say, Crystal? And I believe you touched on it as you were sharing. Of course, um, that's always been a secret to anything that I do. It's my Abba Father up above. Anybody that knows me knows that my foundation is a foundation of faith, because I am a woman of faith. So, what has been a secret to your success and stability on this journey called life as you walking through the fire you've encountered? And as our coach and mentor said, there is no system, but there is a system. What has been the key to your success and stability?
I'm going to put it plainly. As a woman of God, it is God.
Mhm.
because he's with me when nobody else is there.
Mhm.
That's a success. I mean, because if he says it's gonna work, it's gonna work. If he says no one else can do this and you have to go in that door, push that button, write that name down, whatever it is you got to do,
Mhm.
it's not going to happen until you do it. So
Well,
follow the commandment that's right there. I mean, he gave me one this morning. I failed. But guess what? He's giving me another try this afternoon. So
well,
the thing is that be real with yourself and God will show you what you are. You are mightier than what you have. You are mighty than what somebody else is telling you can or cannot be. So when God tell you you're a child of God, be that adult child and keep walking.
that's powerful. I want you to, I want to go back and key in on something that you said that's so powerful. Because a lot of times people say, I have faith, or I'm a woman or a man of God, and I'll just trust God and it will happen. But they're missing the element that's included in that, and that is that you have to do the work. If I know nothing else about you, Crystal, you are definitely one of those that does the work, that puts in the work, and that consistently does the work to continue to grow. And so, um, for those tuning in, I, I pray and hope that you're inspired and empowered. I truly am. It's always a pleasure connecting and with other, women of faith and men of faith because, iron sharpens iron. And so I just wanted to kind of honor you with that. So, what has been one of your most defining moments in
Oh,
life?
I thought about this with my baby today, my daughter. My defining moment was getting married to my handsome husband, Joseph. My next defining moment was my baby girl, Alexis. And then in my business, I would say when the National Notary Association called me to participate as a Notary of the Year in 2018. And one of my responses I can keep hearing is, I didn't even know you guys knew who I was or I was on your radar. And he says, yes, I went to your Times Union interview. I went to different websites that you did different things on, um, the different transitions in your hair. And I was like, oh, you gonna make me cry. You have really went back. And he says, in your website, he said, your website is personable. It makes us understand how natural it is for you to do this job and how eager you are to help others.
Mm-hmm.
And so I accepted it and I became an honoree for Florida for 2018. And now I'm an ambassador. So it just keeps growing. And from there, I became a distinctive speaker training. And now I have YouTube videos. And so I'm just bouncing off of that, but not only that, not taking it lightly, but realizing there is a place for me in my profession on a larger scale. So that's what I'm striving to do is help better other notaries and build a community.
Awesome. But the key to that is realize, accept, and acknowledge is
Yes.
who you are, but who you are, even in spite of the things that you walk through. And so that people do their research and they're talking about, your hairstyle. That's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. So you mentioned something about I'm trying to recall. You mentioned something about um God, I lost it. I hope it comes back because it was good. I didn't get a chance to jot it down. But
Okay.
in the meantime, what insights can you share for those that may be encountering, they're in the midst of a fire right now, that are tuned in? What would you share with them as far as how to navigate that fire?
How to navigate in that fire. I would say tread lightly. Don't move too fast. Don't answer too many questions without doing your research. Also, where is your plan?
Mm,
You need a plan. I started my business without a plan of action, without a business plan, because I thought I didn't need it. I knew everything.
mm,
And then as I got with business professionals that shook their little paper, I got my business plan, but they didn't have the substance. So I had the substance, the fire, and the go give. But guess what? I still need that plan. So even if your plan is not on beautiful paper with a logo sitting at the top, write your plan down, because that's what God is looking for. He's looking for you to write it down so he can help you through that fire. When you have a plan, God can say the word. That will navigate you through, and you're back to the yellow brick road. Remember the road that's traveled by and the road that everybody is on. Okay. Mm-hmm. So mine has to be the road that nobody is on. That's the only word I know. That's what my mother has always professed to me. Let's go down this one. It's dark. Nobody's down there. I see mountains. She said, that's life. So if you don't want to go down a road that has life in it, why do we want to go down the road that has hell?
Right.
Pick your poison. So if you're going to navigate through life, we got God, we got a plan. And how eager are you to get there? Are we going to do some research on there? We're going to change our shoes, put tennis shoes on and run through? Or are we going to learn to go through the fire together? It's going to be put out. That's the whole thing. You don't have the fire extinguisher. All you got to do is go through it. Your body, your mind, your soul is going to be that fire extinguisher. So let's get there.
That was good stuff. I love what you said about picking your poison.
You have to. And I mean, it's not going to be easy, but you know what? Now you know a little bit better of that. I went through it and I still go through it daily, but it don't have to hurt.
Well, I want
to
and on something that you said. You said it's good to have a vision, but without a plan, what are you going to do? And you know, based on the word, have a good tool to write the vision and make it plain so that you can run with it. And so you have to have a plan. You know, another one of the quotes from one of our mutual mentors, he said, you know, everybody has a dream, but everybody has a goal, but who has the plan? What's the plan? I'm sure I probably butchered it, but that's in the gist what it said. And it just reminded me of that when you said that. It's good to have a dream and a plan. How are you going to implement that or bring it to life? And so I thank you for sharing that. And so said, know your resources.
Mm-hmm.
How important is it resources when you're in the midst of the fire? Because something else I said is that, you know, you gotta have somebody that you're not going through the fire with, but you're not gonna get out of the fire alone. So you gotta reach out. You can't be isolated. And so what were your go-tos while you were walking through your fire? And how did you identify them?
I identified them. One was my two of my resources at the time of the ugliness in the first person was with my mother and father. They had suffered through racism, you know, working racism as children. And then the next one is being an abusive relationship. Neither one of them had experienced that, but they had siblings that had. So then I was able to go to them and get some takeaways. Some of them learned the lesson. Some of them stayed and got beat up. You know, my takeaway is that my mother raised me to be the strong woman that I can be. So there is no more beating up. You got one chance, and that was the end of that. You know, like I told you, I learned that I was the leader, not the follower. I was the security, okay, not the wallet. So I said, okay. So then now the next resources, my mother kept telling me, and so did my father, where is your Bible? That is your path to life. Where is your Bible? And we didn't have phones, so it wasn't no app that I could just stroll up and look at. There was an actual Bible, and it better not catch dust, you know? So my dad would say, did you read the word? And he didn't say a chapter. He didn't give you a book to go to with some scripture. Did you read your word? I don't care anywhere in there. God is going to help you. Did you open your book? Did you meditate? Did he cry? Did he talk to you? What is he saying? I'm in Japan. Okay. I'm like, Daddy, the phone is about to cut off. No, it's not. You know, you have to realize certain times we have to have those conversations. So if you don't have
conversations, having the hard conversations, I would say right there, that's an insight that you can share. And not only just heard, but having a correct understanding of the word. Many people read the word and then they take it out of context. So it's important that you have spiritual leaders and mentors in your life to help you navigate the word, and to make sure that you're properly um, assessing it and internalizing it. And so, for those of you that don't know, Miss Crystal Whiteside-Lemon is also a minister of the gospel. And so I just wanted to highlight that as well, because she didn't say so, as she was sharing a little bit about who she was, because she's so humble. But I just wanted to highlight that. And so, what are, some of the things that you shared that really resonated with me? I identify with that because that is how I live my life too. You said, run to the fire and not from it. That's a good way to not just get caught in the fire, not be consumed by the fire. But you
Right.
don't want to fear it. You want to run to it and through it, not from it. And one of the other things that you said that was really powerful was that when you show up with
Yes.
expound a little bit more. What does that strength look like for you in the midst of the fire?
That strength looks like I went into my mirror. My mother has this mirror. You go to the dollar store. I tell this to my clients that think they want to be a notary, that think they want to get married. So part of my sessions will have a dollar mirror, and we're holding it up. And I said, what do you bring to the table? I don't want to hear about your pocket. I want to see, what do you bring to the table? If your husband is having a problem, what do you bring to the table? Your wife is sitting on the floor crying, her eyes out. What do you bring to the table? How can you help her? So when you show up, she should see you as some strength. Okay. So when my husband comes to the table, he always have the strength, and I just look at him and I can laugh. His strength makes me laugh and realize it is not as bad as I keep thinking it is.
Right.
I don't care if I'm long distance. The strength is you, your voice, what you've learned through God, through other people, your parents, your grandparents, people that you don't even know. Maybe you didn't have parents. You had someone that loved you so much that they pushed you out in the world and say, guess what? When you need some more, come back. That's part of your strength. That's part of your makeup of who you are. So when you're coming into a room, when they say a woman can walk in the room and everyone stops. Michelle,
Right.
you know this. Okay. So then it's your strength, your confidence. Yeah, you do. The confidence is oozing out of you. That's like a woman getting her hair done. Girl, can't nobody tell you nothing. But now you put all of that together, and now you're in your mind sense of running your business. You're in the mind sense as a mother, taking those children to school for the first time, or just walking in a store. You're on the arm of your husband on a group trip. That strength is walking in as a powerful couple. So you already possess it. You just have to know how to activate it.
You already have to know how to activate. So what is your
My strength is to make a way out of no way. I thought about that today, because whenever I have a client that tell me, I don't know how this is going to work. And I said, okay, but just tell me the facts. And when they tell me, I said, okay, I got you. And I go into my little bag of tricks and say, da-da, I got it fixed. You want to see how I fixed it? And they tell me, and the other one didn't know that. I said, it's okay. I'm a teacher. I've dug for this information. I crave this information. It's contagious. So don't worry about what somebody else didn't do. I got you now. And that's what I bring to the table. The parts that you don't know about. That's my strength.
make a way out of it?
That's right. Make a way out of it. I'm gonna make that a t-shirt.
Well, and there you go, making something out of it. That's a perfect example right there.
Yes.
So for people who are tuning in, you say, give them a couple of takeaways and give them one call to action.
Say that once more.
I said, give the audience a couple of takeaways, and then after that, give them a call to action, for what they gleaned and learned today while listening in.
Okay. So the takeaways is know who you are. and always have that conversation with yourself.
Mhm.
Ask why. Why do you keep doing it? Why do you keep taking it? And change whatever you think you need to change. And don't be so boisterous to tell somebody, I'm about to change. Show me. Show me. Don't tell me, show me. Because see, then I can appreciate the change. Then I can tell you I see it. So when I can see it, then I believe it. Now I can send people to you because you've changed. That's the way. Okay. A call to action. Jump. Jump. You want to keep doing all this stuff? Jump. See, don't ask how high. How many times do I need to jump to get where I want to be?
You just jump.
Jump. Jump.
Yes. Yes.
It's not so much as the book, it's the action. Jump. I have one too, because see, I got 14 jumps I need to get to my goal.
Okay.
Jumps. I'm not gonna parachute out of nowhere, but I'm jumping to my. So I've made a path. It's 14 jumps.
Okay.
So yours could be 3 or 5, but it doesn't matter. How long is it going to take you to get up and jump? That's the biggest one right there. See,
Well,
so stop talking about it and jump.
Huh. You said stop talking about it. Is that what you said?
Hello.
So what things do you have coming up? Is there anything what are some of the things that you have coming up?
Yes, I have a day of weddings coming up on the 19th of December from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Vision Center, 6859 Lenox Avenue, Jacksonville, Florida, 32205. And please call me at 904-505-3948. And as it's strolling at the bottom, you can go to my website and send me questions. I'll meet you. You can text me at the same number. Whatever you need to do, the address is there on the website, and bring some couples. Okay. Couples are $150. Sorry. Renewal of vows are $150, and new couples are $200. And I'll have something special for you after the wedding. So please come. Please come. And it's only for couples.
I want to thank you so much for agreeing to come on and share with us and be so vulnerable about sharing how you walk through the fire and how now you help others walk through the fire, whatever their adversity are. Always a pleasure speaking with you, connecting with you, Crystal. You know, we've known each other for a while. We've both been together personally, professionally, and spiritually. So I want to thank you for agreeing to come on and honor this platform, to be a voice for those that may not have a voice or may not be ready to project their voice. So thank you. I wanted to, to follow up as a recap of what we shared today. If you took away nothing else, I want you to resonate with these things and meditate on this thing. When you are walking through the fire, run to it, from it, so that you can run through it, and know that you don't have to run through it alone, because we were created, connection and community. And show up with strength. And remember, know who and what you are following. That was just so profound to me. So just know who and what you're following, and recognize who you are. And so for my audience that is listening, I want to thank you all for listening today for another segment of Michelle's Skills. If you hide it, you can't. A phenomenal report of a powerhouse here, Mr. Whiteside-Lemon, entrepreneur, minister of the gospel, now is getting her fitness on track. We're both a part of another platform, virtual fitness platform, where we are getting our business together as well as our internal and spiritual. So I'm so honored to know you, and thank you again for taking the time out to share. Thank you, Ms. Trinette, for listening to me. And so until next time, you guys have a great day. Make sure you share this with someone that you know may need it. And we will see you next time. Michelle Speaks. If you hide it, you can't heal it. Take care. Be well.
Thank you. Loved it.